Good morning, this is Bree. Welcome to my home. We're actually going on a little field trip today, or I am. The kids are with their dad today. Many have asked, do they see Arthur? Yes, they see him 2 days per week. I am actually going to go see a friend's garden. I had the same garden for 5 years, and so I knew exactly every year I knew exactly what I would plant, where I was gonna plant it, how I was gonna plant it. So I'm starting from scratch on a brand new garden. I have a lot of plans for it. I have a friend with a very beautiful, very productive garden, and I'm gonna go look at it today because it's a smaller garden and I wanna see what she does to get inspired and to get some concrete. I work better when I see things. I have a hard time with imagination. I have to draw things, look at things, touch things. I work better that way. So that's where we're going. I'm also gonna head over to Lowe's after that. I have some things I need to buy for the garden, and also to build a fire pit because we need a fire pit. The kids and I like to have fires, and it's also fun when people come over. So I have one in mind. There's like a kit I can get, but then I need to add some stones. Anyway, I've been researching it, watching YouTube videos. I think I know what I'm doing, but I guess we'll find out as you guys watch me build it. Daffodils. I've been pointing out to you guys little signs of spring. There's been daffodils and yarrow and mint and lemon balm and a tansy, which I don't know what that is, so I'm looking it up. But it just, on the one hand, it gives me so much joy being in her yard and seeing spring coming to life. And on the other hand, it actually gives me a lot of sorrow because I can think of all the years, you know, I've gone through my own yard watching the life come back from the winter on my own farm. And so I get excited though, thinking about the future and thinking about how if I work hard this year, next spring, next February, I'll be doing this in my own yard on our new property, and I'll be going around and looking for signs of new life coming back from the things I plant this year. So I'm trying to hold that vision in my mind as I feel this real grief and sorrow over what I've lost, but looking forward to the future over what is to come. Brings a lot of hope. So she lives sort of on the side of a little mountain, and I just love how she's using what she has. She's got little gardens tucked in. Here's kind of her main garden, but then throughout her yard she has little places tucked in. She's creating a new little spot here, maybe for strawberries. Then over here she's got her herb garden going. She's got some blueberries here at the edge of her main garden. And it's funny because what she's doing is she follows the sun. There's a lot of trees, so there's not a lot of sun. Now, thankfully, this side is south facing, so she's getting a good amount here, but still with the trees, she has to watch every year, because trees grow, where she's gonna find a nice sunny place to put her fruits and her veggies and her herbs. Anyway, I just think it's sweet. I think it's amazing how we can be creative. We can either be discouraged and just not do something, or we can be creative and figure out a way to make it happen. And that's what she's done here. And I can just imagine. She's like, oh, it's such a messy early spring garden. I was like, oh no, I see it. I bet you guys can too, because you guys have gardens. We all know that the messiness of spring brings the abundance of the summer. And this is just so beautiful. Okay, I didn't know I was going to show you guys this, but she just showed me, she was going to go show me her worm bins because I want to be a worm farmer now. And so, anyway, but then we came across her food storage, and this is maybe like a 5 by 5 foot space, like up against, I'm talking like 5 across, 5 deep. And she has at least a year's worth of grains and beans right here. It takes very little space to store your food. We're going to be talking about that a lot on this channel, storing food, prepping food. There are people who are a lot better at that than me, but I will show you what I'm going to do and with the little bit of knowledge that I do have. And then once again, here up against this wall, this is her crawl space, y'all. she has not a year's worth of canned goods, but a lot of canned goods. I mean, they would do pretty well in an emergency. She's got her vinegars, her extra herbs and spices, it looks like. Anyway, I know that's not what this video is about, but I just want to encourage you that you can store food, even in very small spaces. And also, she just has a few totes here. Those are just regular sized totes. And she says they have Mylar bags that are full of like pasta and more beans. And I know this one had some sugar in it. And I just think it's incredible that she took her crawl space, which is not big. I mean, I have a huge crawl space at my house. This one is very small. And it's just one little corner of it at the end of it. And she's storing food for her family. And it's not like a prepping thing. Storing food isn't just about prepping. It's just about saving money, being prepared in a sense for like, oh, I don't have to go to the store 50 times. Like, I can just have what I need on hand and I don't have to like constantly go to the store for things. Or say, you know, your husband loses his job or you lose your job, you have food on hand. It isn't necessarily about like the end of the world or like being in fear. It's about being wise. That's really more what prepping is about. So refreshing and filling to my soul to spend time with a friend today. She's also been a big part of walking the last year out with me and praying with me and just helping me figure out next steps in my life. So it's always a good time to be with friends like that. Okay, now I'm gonna head to Lowe's. I have a list. Y'all, I don't build stuff. I've never built anything in my life, but I'm gonna have to learn. So I feel like this first project of building a fire pit is a pretty simple one. So we're gonna start with that. Off to Lowe's we go. I'm just getting like a fire pit kit. I actually never finished filming that day when I took you guys to my friend's garden. But I did get the stuff to make the fire pit, and here it is. The kids put it together. It was so cute. I wanted to film it that day, but it was so windy. Even with the muffler over the microphone on the camera, you wouldn't have been able to hear a thing. So I kind of wish I had time-lapsed it though, because it was really cute. The kids just taking over and getting this little project done. This was so easy. I was intimidated and it was like the easiest thing. I'm also though gonna put like a big ring of stone around the whole thing with like pebbles and then chairs, but that's a project for another day. That was one big request of the kids though, and I got that one done, so I'm really proud of myself. Sometimes organizing my thoughts, planning out the project, and then accomplishing it is too much for me, but I did it. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next video.